Activism among athletes on issues such as race, gender, and equal pay has long been a part of American and Olympic history. It's also been controversial. Since the start of the pandemic, a number of Asian American athletes have spoken out about the rise in anti-Asian attacks, including Milwaukee Brewers player Keston Hiura. Pauleen recently sat down with the 24-year-old first baseman to learn more about his experience.
When it happens to people of your own race, it definitely kind of changes your mindset a little bit and put the world in a different perspective.
Since the pandemic began, the rise in anti-Asian attacks has weighed heavily on Keston Hiura of the Brewers.
Know that you're going about your normal day and then something like that could happen to not only anyone, but especially right now with a lot of the Asian hate going on, it's definitely scary.
Of the roughly 3,800 attacks recorded nationwide in the last year by the nonprofit Stop AAPI Hate, many have been on Asian elders, leaving them severely hurt, some dying from their injuries.
What actually does go through your head?
That kind of makes you think about, your grandparents or, in their position, are people going to try to take advantage of them or, treat them a certain way? It's something that you definitely can relate to.
Hiura grew up in California, a third-generation Asian American and one of two players in the organization. He, like many, grew up a part of a culture that remained relatively quiet until now.
We've grown up in these types of cultures or ways where it allows us to be thick-skinned, and when people call us names or attack us for a race, we kind of just brush it off. We kind of just go about our business, and now it's like directly attacking Asian Americans. It's something that you really want to kind of take a stand.
He's one of several Asian American athletes now speaking out, some taking to social media like tennis superstar Naomi Osaka, saying in part, "It's really sad that Stop Asian Hate even has to be a hashtag. It should be common sense, but it seems like common sense is uncommon in this world now." Basketball player Jeremy Lin shocked the world when he shared he was called coronavirus on the court. And Olympic gold medalist Chloe Kim has admitted to getting hundreds of hateful messages a month telling her to go back to China, even though she's a first-generation Korean American, and to stop taking away medals from white American girls on the team.
For us, it's more than just speaking about the injustices. It is also being part of the solution.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
Wisconsin athletes have recently led the way as social justice activists, with Bucks players taking to the streets in protest following the death of George Floyd at the hands of Minneapolis police.
Our focus today cannot be on basketball.
To forfeiting a playoff game in the wake of the police shooting of Jacob Blake in Kenosha, and after the shooting at 3 area spas in Georgia where 6 of the 8 victims killed were Asian women, the team released a statement saying in part, "It's long past time for us to all join together to stop Asian hate."
It fundamentally comes down to just right versus wrong. We want to be on the side of being right.
Arvind Gopal Rutnam is the Vice President of Corporate Social Responsibility and the Executive Director of the Milwaukee Bucks Foundation.
Why? Why, as a Bucks organization, why do you feel the need to say something, to do something?
Well, we believe it's our role as community members.
The argument that people make that sports should just focus on the game, stay out of politics, stay out of social justice, what do you say to that?
Politics to sports to entertainment, whatever it is, we're all interconnected so much more than we ever were. Those who question whether it's important to speak or stand or kneel or to stay in one specific lane, I think we're evolving as a society, right? And I think we need to set that example for the next generation that that's not a question of our athletes in those professions going forward. It's an opportunity, and it's a platform that we help support and enable versus question.
Hiura says he's leaned a lot on his family, and just like what's happened during the Black Lives Matter movement, he's also leaned on his teammates for support.
What is your message to these people who think it's okay to attack elderly Asian people, who think it's okay to call us names, coronavirus, or tell us to go back to our own country?
At the end of the day, it's just being about being a good person.
And as more people from all races speak out about the rise in anti-Asian hate, Hiura hopes people will listen.
I'm definitely, hopeful and, pretty positive that things will change. And, I think, we're taking the right initiative right now to make that step forward.